What is the first khutbah? The first khutbah that he gave, two parts. The first part of it, he encouraged them to be generous, and he reminded them of the certainty of death and of meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that Allah Azza wa Jal would ask each and every one of them about what he had been given and what he spent with what he had been given. And in this khutbah there is a phrase that is a part of an authentic hadith that we all know, and that is, this hadith is in Bukhari, not the khutbah, the phrase that he said in the khutbah. And that is, that whoever is able to save himself from the fire, even if with half a date, وَلَوْ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ, right? And shiq doesn't actually even mean half, it means with the seed or the pith of the date. وَلَوْ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ, even with a portion of the tamra, let him do so. And if he doesn't even have this, then with kalima tayyibah, with a good word, because every deed is multiplied 10 times. Then he sat down. That's the first khutbah. Charity, death, meeting Allah, hisab, and give sadaqah. And if you can't give sadaqah, speak something good. First khutbah. Second khutbah, he stood up. And now this is what Ibn Ishaq reports, and it's contrary to what we are used to, and Allah knows best. In the second khutbah, he began with what is called the khutbatul haja. And that is what all of us, including myself, began the first khutbah with. Inna alhamdulillah. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. And then he started the second khutbah. So he started with khutbatul haja in the second khutbah. But from other riwayat, we learned that he would usually start the khutbatul haja in the first khutbah. So perhaps this changed later on. But this is what Ibn Ishaq reports. Or perhaps the two have been mixed around, but that's not something anybody has said before. So Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. And then he said, after he said, Amma ba'd. And then he said, the successful one is the one whom Allah has beautified his heart. زَيَّنَ لَهُ قَلْبُهُ. His heart has become beautiful. This is the successful one. And has caused him to enter Islam after leaving kufr. This is the successful person. And has chosen him above the rest of the people for the best of all matters. I.e., you who have accepted Islam have been blessed like no one else on earth. You have succeeded because you left kufr and entered Islam. Love what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. And love Allah with your entire heart. وَأَحِبُّ اللَّهَ بِكُلِّ قَلْبِكُمْ. بِكُلِّ قَلْبِ, the entire heart. Love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with it. And never tire of the speech of Allah and of the dhikr of Allah. Never get tired of the speech of Allah. Kalamullahi wa dhikruhu. Kalamullah is the Quran. The dhikr is His remembrance. And never let your heart become hard. Allah chooses what He wishes and what He blesses. And He has blessed this, meaning the Quran and the dhikr, to be the best deed. Allah chooses whatever He pleases, and He has chosen this, meaning Al-Quran wa dhikr, kalamullahi wa dhikruhu, to be the best deed. So worship Allah and do not associate partners with Him, and have taqwa of Him as He said that you should, and be sincere to Allah in all that you say. Love one another with the spirit of Allah between you. This is a phrase that I have not found in any other hadith. بِرُوحِ اللَّهِ بَيْنَكُمْ. أَحِبُّ اللَّهَ بِرُوحِ اللَّهِ بَيْنَكُمْ. Right? It's a very interesting phrase, and it's a phrase that the Prophet ﷺ said in the first khutbah. Love Allah with the ruh Allah, with the spirit of Allah Azza wa Jal between you, and remember that Allah hates that His promise be broken. Wassalamu alaykum. This is the entire khutbah, which I gave in less than 3 minutes translation with explanation. If I didn't have the explanation, it'd probably be two minutes or so. This is the entire khutbah that we have. And subhanAllah, look at how comprehensive this khutbah and how pertinent it is. The first khutbah is all about charity. And what a great time to remind people of charity, because now the ummah needs charity. If there was any time that we needed to fundraise, it was at the beginning of Islam, right? If there was any time people need to donate for the cause of Allah, it was right at the beginning of Islam. And so the first khutbah is about, you guys need to give your money now. We're going to have to start an entire new republic, a new system. We will need your sacrifices. So he encourages them. He reminds them of the reality of life and the certainty of death. This short khutbah has both threats and rewards. It has hopes and promises. And this is the way of Islam. That we tell people the rewards of Allah to make them feel happy and joyful, but we also make them scared of the fearful punishment of Allah, right? Targhib and tarhib is the Arabic phrase, right? We give them hope and we also make them scared of Allah's punishment. This is the methodology of Islam. Some other major religions of our times find this to be backward, and for them it's all about the good side, the lovey side, right? But the fact of the matter is that human nature needs the carrot and the stick. The carrot is good, but unless you have a stick, it'll not always move along, right? You need both, the reward and the punishment. And our religion of Islam, the Quran, is full of promises of Jannah and threats of punishment. This because human nature is like this, you need both. And even in this khutbah, you will be meeting Allah, so fear Him. Death is going to come to you. Allah will ask you about your money, about what you have been given, the surplus. So if you can save yourself from the fire of hell, this is the first khutbah he's saying. Makes you feel very scared. And then there's also love Allah with your full heart, right? Allah will give you what He promised, etc. So there's both threats and promises. Hajjah, by the way, is its own topic. Wallah, we can talk 30 minutes just about the khutbatul hajjah. Inna alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu. This is so eloquent. It's such a beautiful and concise speech. Verily, all praise is due to Allah. And only Allah is worthy of being praised. Therefore, we praise Him. Inna alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu. Following the commandment. We will praise Him. And nasta'inuhu. We will ask for His help. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Right? نحمده ونستعينه. We're praising Allah and worshipping Him. نستعينه. And we seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our deeds and the consequences of our souls. Verily, whomever Allah guides, no one can misguide. Whomever Allah misguides, no one can guide him back to the straight path. I testify that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. This is khutbatul hajjah. This khutbah is so powerful that people accepted Islam just because of this khutbah.